Hello and welcome. My name is Starr, and I will be hosting our Sunday Live for this beautiful community of supportive women. We gather every Sunday for a live video to go through this Let's Flourish worksheet. I have my notes all over it. But if you would like a copy of it, please email me at scofwomen@gmail.com. It just stands for supportive community of women at gmail.com. And this community is intended to be a constant a constant safe place that you can return to whenever you need that upliftment and support and sense of connection and community in your life. So we have these lives every Sunday, and my intention is to build a beautiful community of incredible, powerful women, and that we can uplift each other in our times of need and feel that connection and support just through daily life, just through living. We all go through peaks and valleys and life's challenges and life's joys. And I want this to be a place where we can come for that community and that support and also that celebration and that sisterhood. So let's jump right into our Let's Flourish worksheet. Like I said, if you want a free copy, just email me scofwomen@gmail.com and I will send you your copy. The first category that I want to talk about is celebrate. So we start every live reflecting on what's transpired recently in our lives and taking a moment to celebrate those things that are meaningful to us. And if you haven't been here before, if you have, this is my favorite book. But if you have not, this book by Melody Beattie, Journey to the Heart, Daily Meditations on the Path to Freeing Your Soul. This is what I'm going to be reading out of for our live video today. So let's start with celebrate. And the way this book is formatted is it has a daily meditation. So they're short, they're sweet, they're beautiful. And I think this one connects to the celebrate section that we talk about every week. So as I'm reading through, if you don't have a copy of the worksheet, no problem. Just grab a journal, grab a piece of paper, and jot down anything that comes to mind that's meaningful to you, that deserves to be celebrated. And take a moment to do so, or take a moment to plan a way that you'd like to celebrate it. This daily meditation comes from April 28th. Reward yourself. Take time to reward yourself. Let it become a deliberate and practiced habit. Many of us grew up in families or with people who didn't reward us. We weren't rewarded for good behavior. We weren't rewarded or loved unconditionally, just for being, and particularly for being us. Although many of us may strive to change that behavior by rewarding the people around us, we may have neglected the importance of rewarding someone very important, ourselves. It is one thing to mentally congratulate ourselves for a job well done. It is another to take the time to actually deliberately and specifically reward ourselves. How many years do we have to live before it's time to treat ourselves? How much good do we have to do before it's good enough to give ourselves a gift? Maybe it's time right now, today, to begin practicing the habit of rewarding ourselves. Our souls can become tired, very wary of striving to grow, to do things well, to do our best at life, love, and work if there is no reward. Our passion can wane if good is never good enough. And if the rewards and pleasures are always, always at bay, somewhere out in the distant future. If you find yourself beginning to resist working hard, doing well, striving for spiritual growth, maybe it's because you're neglecting to reward yourself for all you've already done. If you feel like the world offers no reward to you, maybe it's because you're not cooperating by rewarding yourself. Stop punishing and depriving yourself. Don't let others punish you for a job, a day, or a life well done. Instead, reward yourself, take a break, and do something especially nice for you, something that would make you happy. Buy yourself something. It can be a little gift, or you can splurge. Take yourself somewhere you want to go in your hometown or in another country. Do something fun, magical, and exciting, something that makes your heart sing and your spirit soar. Reward yourself by allowing yourself to enjoy what you give yourself or what you're doing, and make rewarding yourself an attitude. Reward yourself often. When you accomplish a particular task, when you've gone through a grueling part of the healing process, reward yourself during those frustrating times just for being so patient. Sometimes reward yourself just for being you. Per usual, I could not have said it better myself. Thank you to Melody Beattie, such an incredible author. I hope you took time to jot down what you want to celebrate or what you are celebrating by acknowledging it now, or what you're going to celebrate. Maybe after this live, you head out. You go to a place you've been wanting to go in your hometown and you enjoy yourself. Okay, next is gratitude. And the thing that I have to share today is kind of connected to celebrate in my own way. So, as I was thinking of our live today, and last week I was recovering from the stomach flu. And this year, our son started preschool. And oh my goodness, our family has been sick over and over and over and over and over and over again. And just when we think it's we're in the clear, it's all good now. No, we get sick again. When I had stomach flu, he had pink eye that week. So this is the second time this year he's had pink eye. I truly, I don't know why, I just thought, "Oh, we won't get things like pink eye," or maybe I was just hoping. I hope we don't get things like pink eye. But I will say he was incredible about it the second time around. It was like he's he's done this rodeo before. He knows what we need to do, and he was willing to do his best. So he did a great job. But the funny thing that might sound like, Starr, that's a baseline. That is not something to celebrate. Or be grateful for. But of course, we're all grateful for our health. What I'm trying to get out is I'm grateful, and I'm also celebrating the fact that we didn't have sickness in our house this week. Yay! Oh my word. It has been sickness after sickness after sickness. It's like maybe I can finally reach out to my sister and be like, "Hey, I'm not sick. I would love to spend time with you." Every time I go to want to spend time with my sister, then it's like, "Oh, I get sick and I don't want to get her sick." So there's a lot to be grateful for here. Not only are we all feeling on the up or better, I can plan things without any concerns of making the ones I love sick. So I'm grateful, and I need to reach out to my sister because I've been really wanting to spend time with her. Okay, next focus is at peace. That's what's next. And I'm again going to read from the same book. This is the daily meditation for April 25th. Connect with peace. And there is a Buddhist chant that starts that I am not going to be able to pronounce. But it starts going over different religious or non-denominational ways we can connect with peace. So if you get the book, it's on page 117. I don't want to mispronounce, you know, something that is sacred. So I will leave that for whoever wants to get the book and look at it. I'll move on to the next one, which is a Catholic petition. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. I love that she includes a non-denominational one for those who are not religious. This I recognize it from AA. God, well, I guess it does start with God, but if you're not if you are not someone who believes in God or a higher power, you could just leave that part out. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And she calls that a non-denominational prayer. That one is powerful. I repeat it to myself often when I'm trying to focus on, okay, what is out of my control and what is within my control, and how can I gain power through surrendering to what is not in my control, and just allowing it to be, letting it be, and focusing on what is within my control. And usually everything that's within my control has to do with me, my attitude, my actions, my behavior, my responses, all of those good things. And that's a very helpful thing that I say, or that I think about when I'm considering, how can I reclaim power? What do I need to surrender to? So I'll read it one more time. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I'll continue with the daily meditation. Now I'm reading Melody's words. People have many ways of seeking and finding peace. Mantras, chants, or prayers that align the mind with peaceful thoughts, with the river of peace that runs through our universe, are one way of returning to our center. Do you have a favorite prayer, a religious chant, or a saying that helps you, that puts you back on track, that takes your mind to that place of peace within your soul? Value the mantras that touch and heal your mind, the sounds and thoughts that align you with peace. Find and value the words and prayers of your religion, the thoughts that work for you, that connect you to your center. These will help you discover your connection with the universe, the flow of life, the certainty that all is well. You and your life are on track. Know you'll be given all the guidance and grace you need. Find rituals that help you believe that peace is yours. Rituals that connect you to the divine in the universe. Ask for peace. Ask in a way that works for you. And I just agree with that so much. We all have our own personal beliefs and ways of inviting peace into our lives. And I believe that's exactly what we should do. We should find what feels aligned for us, what feels like congruent and on our path. And we should, well, I don't like to say should, but we can invite that peace into our lives. And what a beautiful gift. So maybe you pause the video right now and you take a moment to consider, what might yours be? Or when could you schedule 5 minutes to look up inspiration for it? Or pause this video and go look for inspiration if you feel inspired to do so. Other ideas might be to think back throughout your life and think of times that you've had a mantra or something uplifting that has brought you comfort and peace in those times when you need it. I think that it is so powerful and so helpful. All right, next is hope and trust. Let me just find the page here. Okay, this is the daily meditation for April 30th. And I think this is a helpful one when I'm talking about hope and trust, because as we've been talking about, some people aren't religious or don't believe in a higher power, and that's fine. I think we should all be on our own path of what works for us. I consider myself very spiritual. Um, I do believe the universe has my back. I guess that's the best way I can articulate it. But I was raised religious. I no longer am religious. And that is what feels aligned with me. So I encourage you to trust in what feels aligned for you personally. It's a very personal thing. But I do think it's so important for us all to have hope and trust through life. Whether that's trusting the process, whether that's trusting your unique gifts and talents, whether that's the hope that, the sun is going to rise again tomorrow, or this may be the way things are right now, but this is not how it's always going to be, or hope for a bright future, or trust in, like I was saying, your unique abilities and talents to empower you. So that's why I thought that this specific meditation was powerful for hope and trust. It's on April 30th in the book, and it reads, "Awaken your healing powers." From the traditional to the alternative, healers and healing energy can take many forms. Masseuses, hypnotists, chiropractors, medical doctors, herbalists, each may have a touch of healing to bring to us at just the right time and place. But the power to transmit healing energy isn't limited to those who work in hospitals or have mastered the ancient Chinese art of acupuncture. We each have the power to transmit healing energy to others and ourselves, regardless of our profession. We each have the ability to awaken that power and use it in the world around us through our chosen field of work. The man at the deli knows his customers' names and the details of their lives, then greets them with a warm, sincere and healing smile. The woman who decorates homes takes time to get to know enough about her clients so that the colors and object in the home reflect where they are on their spiritual paths. Friends and family members heal by using their gifts of intuition and speech to gently encourage and empower, their gift of thought to transmit healing messages, and their gift of touch to rub a stiff neck or sore shoulder. There are many ways each of us can creatively figure out how to incorporate and channel our healing powers into our daily life. See your favorite healers when you need to. On your path, be open to discovering new healers and combination of practices that work for you. But don't limit who can bring healing into your life. Remember that you're a healer too. Healing energy is the energy of love. Learn to let it flow through you. I think this is applicable in all of the ways beautifully written in that daily meditation. And I think it's applicable for us too, that we each have the power to heal ourselves. We can each have that trust within ourselves to be gravitated towards what feels right for us. What healing do we need in our life? Do we need to go visit that local deli with the person behind the counter who genuinely cares about people in the community? Is that what we feel drawn to today? Do we feel drawn to having the courage to find a therapist and going and seeing if it feels like a good fit for you? Do you feel drawn to simply get outside and yesterday I was gardening, and It makes me sound like I'm a gardener, but this is new to me. Okay. I've done a lot of apartment living and other things, and it is very new to me. So when I say yesterday I was gardening, don't think that I'm like a seasoned gardener. But it was kind of a nice, I don't know what other word to use besides experiment. It was kind of a nice um way to get to know myself a little better, because I was like, I wonder if work, because I've worked more, I'm a mom of two young boys. I spend a lot of time upkeeping the house, and I I value having a homey, cozy house, and it takes a lot of work to try to provide that for myself and my family. But I haven't spent as much time in the yard. I live in a place that has all four seasons, and just when you think spring is coming, another storm hits. So our yard was in great need of some love and attention, and I thought, I wonder if I'll like this. I wonder if this is something I'll enjoy. And um because I was working, I had, gloves and shoes on, but I remember going to a yoga class and the yoga instructor talking about I there's no way that I can cite where she gained this information. It was too long ago. But she talked about how powerful it is to connect to the earth, like literally take off your shoes and put your feet in the grass, touch the soil, touch the earth, and how grounding that is for our bodies. And I did that yesterday. I probably could have spent more time with my shoes off, but like I said, I was working, wanted to have the protection of the gloves, and I even had knee pads on because I guess that's how old I am now, that I feel the need to buy knee pads as part of my gardening equipment. I know there's got to be people who can relate to that. Um, But I did take some time to take my shoes off and put my feet in the grass, and it truly was grounding. And was I exhausted at the end of the day? Yeah. But am I going to spend some time today enjoying the fruits of my labor? And it wasn't just me. My son, I could not believe how long he worked out there with me. He loves a project. He loves being involved. He was so hilarious. Let me just tell you real quick. I'm learning about him too. So we went to the store and we picked up gardening tools. See, I told you this is new to me. Sorry. and and he loves a good tool. Like, he's very hands-on. He's a builder. This is my 4-year-old. And so he was there as we picked some of the tools we need. Oh my gosh, he was hysterical walking around the yard. He was like hoarding the tools. Like, I kept asking, I need that one. Like, I'm on my hands and knees trying to pull weeds. I'm like, bring that one back. And he's walking around. I'm like, it's not safe to be walking. These are adult tools, you know, made of hard materials that if he trips or falls, I'm like, please just walk with one at a time. Or, sometimes your hand is the best tool, bud. But no, he wanted to walk everywhere with all three of these hand gardening tools we had that were too big for him to hold. And whenever I needed one, he wanted it back. It was hilarious. He wanted all three at his disposal. So it wasn't just me out there, but I did take time, and my husband came out and helped too. And our little baby was in his stroller, like, guys, why can't I help? Anyway, I guess he's not such a little baby anymore. He's getting older, but the point is that next time you're outside, try taking off your shoes and seeing how it feels for you in your body to connect with the earth. It felt good for my soul. It just felt so grounding. And it seems like an obvious word for it, but it truly felt so grounding. All right. Next is joy and laughter. This is the daily meditation for April 29th. And as I'm reading, I hope that you're jotting down different different way in each category. So, like, for example, celebrate, that you jotted down something that you want to acknowledge and celebrate. When we were talking about gratitude, I hope you took a moment to reflect on things that you're grateful for, and kind of those mind shifts of the way you're looking at things, and what you could kind of shift your mind to focus on to invite more gratitude into your life. When we talked about being at peace, I hope you're able to reflect on ways you can invite peace into your life. And then same with hope and trust. What are ways that you can strengthen your hope and trust in the process of life? Next is joy and laughter. So take a moment to jot down what brings you joy, what makes you laugh. Are there things you can do today or this week to invite these delightful things into your life? This daily meditation that I'm reading, again from Melody Beattie's book, is from April 29th. Comfort makes everything better. With comfort comes nurturing, genuine acceptance and love. Comfort doesn't involve any expense. It comes from the heart. It goes right to the heart. Look at how much better you feel when you receive comfort, when you comfort yourself, when you allow the universe to comfort you. Look at how those around you respond when you give comfort. A comforted person feels renewed, healed, genuinely okay. When you're comforted, the pain and stress that has awakened you each morning dissipates. You open your eyes and feel happy to be here, happy to be you. You know, really know that all is well. Finally, you feel safe. When many of us were young, we ran to our mother, grandmother, or aunt to make a skinned knee, a hurt feeling, a bruised ego better. Now we are grown, but there's another mother who can do that too. Some call her the nurturing feminine side of God. She is all that is in the universe and in each of us that is loving, tender, and gentle, and her comfort really does make everything better. And I want to tailor that to those who don't resonate with the last sentence. You have the gifts to comfort yourself. And I'll finish by reading the last little paragraph. Comfort heals. It brings joy to the spirit. Comfort renews power, vitality. Comfort opens you up like the sun unfolds the petals of a fragrant and beautiful flower. Simply put, comfort will make you and those around you happy. I just love this book. It's so good. And I think it's powerful to go, okay, how can I invite feelings of joy into my life? And maybe first I need to make things a little better by comforting myself or finding ways to accept comfort from others. All right, next is freeing affirmation. And what I mean when I say freeing affirmation is, are there thoughts that you have that are basically limiting beliefs or thoughts? They're not helpful to you anymore. They're not productive. They're not empowering you on the path that you're on. Now, I have a way I want to connect. So, sorry, let me finish that thought. You have the power to become aware of those thoughts, to stop, observe them, and go, okay, that's no longer serving me. What can I replace it with that is true, that is powerful, that is helpful? And I actually have something personal I want to share after I read today's daily meditation. Sorry, the date on it is April 24th. The daily meditation for the freeing affirmation topic is what I meant. Change your perspective. Sometimes a slight difference in where we stand can dramatically change how we see things. One morning, shortly after sunrise, I climbed the top of a mesa in Sedona. I'd been there the day before, staring at the shapes and forms of the other mesas and gazing down upon the city. Now, this morning, I sat in a different place to meditate and to look around. The spot where I sat this day was only a few feet from where I'd sat before, but the view looked entirely different. I saw different shapes and forms in the mesas. I saw a different view of the city, the world below. We often need to change our position so we can see things differently. We don't have to make a dramatic change, we just need to move around a little. Perhaps an unresolved issue is blocking our vision, blocking us from seeing the beauty that's there. Maybe a bit of anger or self contempt is interfering with our vision. Maybe the changes we need to make are minor, much less than we thought. Maybe we simply need to look at whatever we are viewing without fear, to change our mood and see it with the eyes of love. Take a break, move around, learn to change your perspective. Maybe you don't need to change what you're looking at, you just need to change where you stand. So, when we're talking about freeing affirmation, I just want to remind you and me and each of us that we have the power to create new pathways in our brain. Pave is the word I was looking for. We have the power to pave pathways in our brain. So when our brain constantly goes to that old familiar self-limiting thought or belief, we can become aware of it and we can go, that's not what I want to spend my time and energy thinking anymore. I want to replace it. I want to pave a new pathway in my brain. And if I practice it over and over and over and over again, that will become the new pathway. That will become the new thought, the new belief, and it will empower me not to limit myself. Um, so, what I wanted to share, and this is personal, I don't always share personal stuff, but I think it's really helpful to hear basically to just hear sincerely where I am right now, what I'm learning about myself, what I'm healing as we talk about these topics and how, we can free ourselves with the affirmations, with the things that we tell ourselves. So, and this is something that has been coming to my awareness, I would say, for years and years now. And I am so grateful for how the universe works and how lessons I need to learn feel prompted at certain times when I'm ready or when I'm open to them. And um, so I'm very grateful for what has transpired in my life to allow me to feel safe and cared for because I think in the past I held this belief and I think it honestly came from childhood of just feeling like people don't care about me. And which is not true. But we all have a story that we tell ourselves or these self-beliefs that can become so concrete at such a young age. And I don't exactly know, when or why this belief came to be. Of course, I might have some ideas around it, but I can think of later in my teenage years when it was like I thought people were just being nice to me, not that they genuinely valued me or cared about me, which is so odd. But that's the where I was in my life. And over recent years, I've noticed, like, for example, there was one time that I left a job and I received just this overflow of love and it was a really special place to work. And incredible people worked there. And when I left, I felt more cared for from, like my coworkers as a whole. There were certain people there that I felt cared for by, but there was so much more there than I had realized. And I remember going, okay, why am I feeling this now? And of course, we all take more time to express certain things when there's a big change in life, whatever that change may be. So leaving a job, that is a big change. And I guess that prompted people to express, their gratitude or their feelings or how much they enjoyed working with me, whatever it was. I can't remember specific examples, but I remember the feeling of just feeling like this overwhelming. I felt really cared for in an overwhelming way that I was not expecting at all. And it made me realize, why didn't I feel that before? And yes, I think part of it is because of the big life change, but I don't think that's all of it. I think it's this self-limiting belief that I had deep within me from when I was young of not being able to fully comprehend or feel the way that others care about me. And this came up again recently where I went, Wow, I wasn't able to take into account." And that's why I've come to the understanding and realization that there is something that I need to heal, that I need to be able to create a new belief and move forward from, because I do not want to operate anymore from a place of not understanding that other people love and care about me, like, genuinely, deeply. And I'm not trying to say that I never felt loved or that I didn't know other people cared about me. What I'm trying to say is I think I had this self-limiting belief that impacted my life over and over again, and I'm finally more aware of it. I can finally put it into words. I can finally go, okay, even though maybe I feel a little embarrassed about that or even confused why I would have that self-limiting belief, it's there and it has impacted my life. And I want to replace it. I want to pave a new pathway in my brain that puts me on the path I'm now on, that I can heal that part of me that had that belief from when I was younger. And I can move forward in life with a greater sense of peace and joy and belonging and feeling cared for. So that's what I'm working on. Obviously, it would be a simple thing to go, no, people do care about me, but I'm going to take more time to consider what is that freeing affirmation, because I really do want to feel it like so deeply true in my bones. So that when habitually my mind or the feelings in my body go to this place of feeling uncared for, I can become more aware of it and replace it with something that feels so true. So that's currently what I'm healing and observing. Oh, and that was very vulnerable for me to share. But my whole intention here is to create a very safe space for us to come as we are, exactly where we are, who we are, and to feel a sense of support and connection and belonging and upliftment. All right, the next topic is connect with yourself. Again, I'm sharing from Melody Beattie's book. And this is from April 23rd. It reads, "Give yourself a break. Learn to appreciate yourself and others. Knowing we desire growth and improvement is one thing. Constantly driving ourselves and others is another. Maybe the answer isn't that we need to do better, try harder, push more. Maybe the answer is recognizing and appreciating how well we already do things, how hard we try, how much we have done, how well others are doing too. Pushing ourselves can become so habitual that we deny ourselves any feeling of satisfaction. No matter how well or how much we do, the urge to try harder, do better, do more keeps pushing us on. It doesn't let us rest. We still feel it isn't quite good enough. If you've been pushing yourself that hard, you may need more than a coffee break. Take a real break. Give yourself permission to put that drive aside. Quiet that part of you that wants to do more, be more, accomplish more. Learn to value how well you do things, even if no one else sees or appreciates your efforts. Applaud your own efforts and the efforts of those you love. For today and for 1 week, instead of demanding more from yourself, tell yourself how well you've done. For today and for it does repeat those words. For today and for 1 week, instead of demanding more from those around you, tell them that they are doing well too. Tell yourself how well you do. You may discover you're doing better than you thought. This book! Yeah, so that might be what you need as you pause and connect with yourself. And when I say connect with yourself, like really take a moment, take a deep breath, connect with yourself, see yourself, feel what's going on in your body. Do you feel tight or sore in certain places? Feel what's going on in your heart, what's going on with your emotions. And just pause and connect. And this might give you really valuable information to what do you need right now? And maybe what you need, you know best what is right for you. But maybe this is a helpful insight from Melody. Maybe you need a break. Maybe you need to pause and appreciate yourself and others for exactly where they are and how well they are doing. I say to my son over and over again because I want him to learn resilience and not to base his worth on the outcome. I tell him trying is what counts. Trying is what counts. And in our world, it does go so against certain things. Like, for example, I just coached his last soccer game. And, I'm competitive at heart. I grew up playing soccer. I love soccer. I love a good win. I love a good goal. And seeing these little young children running around, and of course, when the other team scores on you and you try to stop it, there's this feeling of discouragement, like you tried and it didn't go the way you wanted it to, and then it can lead to not feeling good enough, whatever it leads to. So I tried in that moment to go, hey, this was to another boy on the team, hey, you did awesome on defense and you were in the right place and you tried, and do you know what counts? Trying is what counts. And I think that is so helpful for us as adults too, to remember that our worth is not based on the outcome, that we can have that resilience and just try our best, and then do what Melody is teaching us to do. Pause and appreciate it. We don't need to push ourselves anymore. We can have gratitude and acceptance and love for exactly where we are and where others are too. Easier said than done, but extremely beautiful and empowering. Okay, lastly, our gentle priority. So I want you to take a moment after you've checked in with yourself and consider what is your gentle priority for the week. I think I have my son and dog coming in. I'm still doing a video, cutie.
You weren't in your room. I was you're awake.
Yeah. Okay, buddy, I have to finish this video.
Guess what?
What?
Tell us about our new adventure.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about your adventure. I am seriously 2 minutes away from being done with this, and then I'll come find you and I'll hear about it.
I like your face. You painted your face.
Yeah, yes.
That means you're so shiny on your face.
So shiny. I thought the same thing. I thought of that Moana song. I'd rather be shiny.
Yeah.
Okay, go upstairs.
You see that light?
I see the light.
You're pointing me on there?
Yep. Okay, go upstairs and I'll be up in 2 minutes to hear all about your adventure, okay? And close the door behind you. I love you.
Love you.
That was my sweet 4-year-old who I've been talking about. He is so observant. Anytime I put even like a dot of makeup on, he comments on it, and it's so cute what he calls like eyeshadow. You painted your eyes. You painted your face. Okay. Gentle priority is what we were talking about. So gentle priority, after you've taken a moment to connect with yourself and check in with yourself, is there anything that you're noticing? I could really prioritize it this week. This is what I need right now in my life. And as I was prepping for today's live, what came to mind for myself that I'll share, but I cannot wait until we have others here and we can hear from you. But for now, I'll share my gentle priority, which is just to be gentle with myself and others. It does connect really well with what we just read out of the Journey to the Heart book. I'll give a little more insight. My husband will be out of town this week traveling for work. And he is an incredibly supportive and helpful partner. I mean, incredibly. Now my Bernese Mountain Dog, the door got closed on him. So now did you see his tail? Now he's in here. Okay, bud, I'm almost done. Okay. So, obviously, when I get done, I'm going to be spending some time with my very lovable boys. And my husband is still in town, but he will be out of town. And I feel it so much when he goes out of town. We have 2 young boys, and, I've been working really hard on the house. As I told you, I worked hard on the yard yesterday. And this week, I just want to be okay with maybe the house isn't exactly how I want it to be. I don't want to get too behind where I feel like I have all this work to do to catch up, but I also don't want to push so hard that I'm not giving myself a break when I need it. So just kind of focusing on those things that I value. Yes, I value the place that I've worked hard. My dog wants me to give him a paw shake. Yes, I want to value the things that I've worked so hard for. I want to keep the house in a great state. I love a clean, cozy, well-functioning house. And when I get behind, it becomes less well-functioning and more stressful for me. But I also don't want to drive myself so hard. I want to enjoy my time with the boys. And I want to be a parent that can be gentle enough with myself when my partner is gone, that my kids don't feel that overwhelmed stress from me, that they also feel that I'm being gentle with them, that we're enjoying our week. So that's what I want to prioritize this week. And I wrote down why not, because this is something I ask myself all day long with my 4-year-old. He has very specific ideas of exactly how he wants to do things or when he wants to do things. And often that does not really align with what I had in mind. So I try really hard. I don't always do this well, but I try to ask myself, why not? Why not? Why not let him do that thing he wants to do right now? Is there a reason why not? Or is it just because I had something in my mind? So I'm going to try to lend that to myself too. Why not? If I'm in the middle of dishes, why not take a break and go do XYZ? Maybe I need to go stretch or do a breathing exercise. Maybe I need to go sit on the floor and play with my beautiful boys. So that's my gentle priority for this week, to be gentle with myself and others, and to ask myself and others, why not? And for you, if you feel comfortable sharing yours in the comments, I'd love to hear what your gentle priority for the week is. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being patient with me and my boys in the live today. My dog keeps nudging my hand to pet him. His name is Maverick. He's a Bernese Mountain Dog. We call him Maverick the Mountain Dog. Okay, have a lovely week. And I hope I see you next time, or whenever you want to join our beautiful community of women. And let me know if there's anything else you want to go over or talk about in these lives. I would love to hear it. And I will see you soon. Have a great one. Bye.